Right, hello viewers, welcome to South Wales and my favourite trail centre in the world. I'm here to do a first ride on a brand new Pivot Mach 4 SL behind me, which looks pretty amazing. I'm joined by Dave, over there, and Dave riding the equally stunning Canyon Lux World Cup. What do you think, Dave? What do you think of your bike?
Can't wait to get on this. I haven't ridden a full suspension bike for that long. I ride a 29er hardtail cross country. So this is going to be an experience. I can't wait to get on it.
My God, bike is fast when you unleash it. And this bike is all I want from a mountain bike these days. Short on travel and low on weight, but big on capability and big on fun and big on smiles. Just a fantastic bike. It's so much fun. Really impressed, really impressed.
So let's look at what makes a Pivot so damn fast. I'll give you a tour of the bike, point out some cool features, let you hear the free hub because that thing is insane, tell you how much it weighs, the price, and much more. While this is a brand new bike for 2023, there is a lot of history in the platform. Back in 2012, I reviewed the Mach 429, which is a heck of a long time ago. While this bike has clearly changed a lot over the last 10 years, there is one key feature in common with that bike from 10 years ago. That is the suspension design, the Dave Weigel developed DW linkage. So two short links connecting the swing arm to the main frame, and designed to reduce excessive pedal bob and stop the suspension squatting down when powering out of corners. And it works really well. It gives amazing sensitivity to small and medium impacts with a really good, efficient pedaling platform that doesn't feel like it's bobbing down and squatting, and just a really nice bike to pedal.
And on technical climbs where traction is at a premium, I think the Pivot has the edge, and helps you get up those kind of steppy climbs where the Lux is kind of working against you. So I think this bike definitely has a lot going for it.
The other reason this bike is so rapid is the low weight. This size large without pedals weighs 10.5 kilos, which is very lightweight. Thanks to a brand new carbon frame that's much lighter than a previous version, and a carbon swing arm too, and helped on this top of the range model by things like carbon wheels, carbon handlebar, and SRAM's XX transmission drivetrain. Brand new, my first experience on that. I'll do a separate video on how that performed and compared to Shimano XTR in a future video. But to get such a lightweight bike, you're gonna have to fork out a lot of cash. This top of the range model is a whopping £12,500, which is some serious wedge indeed. Thankfully, the range does start at a rather more appealing £8,500, but still very expensive. Hopefully we'll see some more reasonably priced versions of this bike in the future. Down to £4,000 or £5,000 would be nice to see, and make the bike more accessible to more people.
This is by no means a direct comparison with the Canyon Lux, but I brought that bike along for a bit of a talking point really, and a bit of a reference point. They weigh about the same, similar amount of travel, similar-ish geometry, but the ride character is so different. That Canyon Lux is so focused on racing that it brings about some quite severe limitations and compromises, in my opinion. But its Pivot is a totally different bike, and it couldn't be more stark a comparison really. This bike is so much more fun. The suspension is so active, and it's such a playful bike. It just eggs you on to go faster and faster and doesn't hold you back on the rocky descent where the Lux definitely does. It's amazing how active the suspension is on this bike. So good on the small stuff, medium impacts, so sensitive, but it's not like bobbing around, it's not wasting energy. It still climbs really well when you twist the twist lock. Oh, what a view. This Mach 4 SL is still a race bike at heart, of course, but it feels way happier on a trail ride like this, away from the racing. There's so much more suspension action. Way smoother, got way more control, and the 34 in the front just give you a bit more sort of headroom, that kind of fork stiffness. Wide handlebar, short stem as well, working really nicely. The RockShox grip shift, twist lock, takes some getting used to. Real difference between the open and the firm setting though. That firm setting gives you a really efficient climbing and they're quite playful in the open setting.
The new bike is available in two versions using the same carbon frame, but with different components and different suspension travel, tuning it for World Cup XC racing and more fast trail riding. So this trail version offers 120mm travel up front and up to 115 out back, but there is a flip chip in the linkage here, so you can knock it down to 106mm of travel if you want.
Just lets you carry so much more speed down the descents, through the corners, over the routes. And it sounds like a cliche, but it does feel like it's got more travel than it actually has. And I think having a 34 up front is a big advantage. Well, it's quite rough the trail, as you can see. Having such a blast on the bike. So perfectly suited to these trails. Fast flowing, rocky, steep. Just takes it all in its stride. Such a capable little bike. Just goes to show you don't need a lot of travel to cover ground fast.
I love the small compact frame with a heavily sloping top tube and a fairly short seat tube, so you get a nice long dropper seat post in there. But on the downside, we only have space for one bottle cage. So if you're doing a longer marathon ride and not using a hydration pack, that might be a limiting factor. Thankfully, we have very sensible cable routing on this bike. No daft routing through the headset or the stereo tube on the bike. No. Very neat cable routing through the down tube with different ports and blanking plates depending on what you need. We also have a bash guard on the down tube to protect the expensive carbon frame and an extra bottom mount down there just in case. But would you use that one? No, I wouldn't either. The rear shock has a really handy sag indicator with trail and race settings, so you can easily set the suspension for your requirements. And then we have 3 bolts underneath the top tube here for fitting Pivot's own multi-tool modular system. So something I haven't tried, but a really neat way to carry tools and essentials on the bike and not in your pockets or hydration pack.
This bike does have a busy handlebar though, quite a few controls to memorise and get used to. So on the right, we've got 2 buttons for the rear mech shifting, wireless, electronic of course. On the left, we have the reverb dropper seat post lever, and then we have an old grip shift twist lock lever for the rear shock. So you can have it fully open or twist it back towards you and it firms it up. Doesn't lock it out like the Lux, just firms it up. So a firmer pedaling platform for smoother far road climbs. And I actually use it quite a bit to be honest, but when I'm properly off-road, I leave it fully open. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun on the bike, a lot of fun. Right at home away from racing. You can still race it of course, light enough, fast enough, but so much better for trail riding. But you still want to buy it fast and efficient.
So just first impressions, there will be a more in-depth review and something very exciting planned for this bike in the future, so stay tuned for that. Now for the final part of this inspection, you need to hear the free hub on their bike because it is quite alarming. Get your ears around this. That is the sound of an Industry 9 hub on a Reynolds wheels. Probably one of the highest pitched hubs I've ever heard. Let me know what you think by leaving a comment down below. Anyway, that's all today. If you want to see a video on that Canyon Lux I mentioned quite a few times in the video, you watch that video up there. And don't forget to subscribe by hitting that button right there. But that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all again very soon.